Welcome to this month's Art and Soul show, SWADS on the Air. While you listen to this, your ears can't look elsewhere. We've started this month with The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
And also, coming up in this show, a look back at all the stuff from 2017 in our respective Feb show.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered sounds of silence.
Rusty Goat's back again. That was The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, a song selected by the Art and Soul crew.
And now a remix of a cover. The original by the Beatles, the cover by Pickle Darling, and the remix by me, James Osborne. This is Octopuss's Garden.
That was a remix of Pickle Darling's cover of the Octopuss's Garden, which was originally done by the Beatles. That was remixed by James Osborne.
Next stop, we have a cover of All Time Low by John Bellion, performed by our very own Eve Golding, recorded here at the Sound Recovery Studio, 13 Milton Road, Swindon.
I was the knight in shining armor in your movie. Would you put your lips? I love the aftertaste now. I'm a ghost, I call your name. You look right through me. You're the reason I'm alone, can't concentrate. I've been trying to fix my pride, but that thing's broken. That thing's broken. Lie, 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 lie. I tried to hide, but now you know it. That I'm at an all-time low, 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 was a prototype like 3 stacks on that CD. An example of the perfect candidate now. All your girlfriends say that you don't want to see me. You're the reason I'm alone, can't concentrate. I've been trying to fix my pride, but that thing's broken. That thing's broken. Lie, 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 lie. I tried to hide, but now you know it. That I'm at an all-time low, 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 that thing's broken. Lie, 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 lie. I tried to hide, now you know it. Then I'm at an all-time low, 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 low,
That was All Time Low by Eve Golding, and the next track is from Darren Darville, which was made by me, Rich, and Darren in the Studio One project.
That was Darren, Darville and Richie P from July 2017, recorded in the Studio One project here at SWADS, Swindon. This next track is from December 2017. It's a local Swindon band, The Empty Chairs, with their track again recorded at the Sound Recovery Studio called Whiskey Glass.
This is the story about a guy named Mo who lived a life with a go, 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 but he never took the time to enjoy his life. He met a woman and she took him away. They got engaged on a sunny day in May. Later she became his wife, and he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass. Pretty soon his life hit the skids, waking up one morning with a wife and 2 kids, and the desire to walk away. A big car and a bigger home, but still no room to call a single room his own. Well, only the guys at the bar understand a word I say, and he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass. And he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass. This ain't the way my life was meant to be, 'cause I was a quarterback in my high school football team. So now I'm arm deep in nappies and knee deep in bills. I'm flipping through brochures and supermarket tills. This is the story about a guy named Mo who lived a life with a go, 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 but he never took the time to enjoy his life. And he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass. And he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass. And he sank to the bottom of a whiskey glass.
Hey you guys, that was Whiskey Glass by The Empty Chairs, and now Digital Eye by the drummer of Terror 45, Nigel Hopkins.
Now a local band called Terror 45, latest song, Love Shark.
Love shark, she's gonna eat you alive.
Love shark,
Love shark, she's gonna pull your life apart.
love shark, love shark.
She's gonna tear you apart.
Love shark, she's gonna
Nibble your ears.
money, she'd eat you alive. She'll put you in the dark so you can't survive. She'll throw you in a dish, cause she's such a big fishy. Tell everyone you never think that.
Love shark, love shark.
She puts you in the dark, she puts you in the bar.
Love shark, she's gonna eat you alive.
Love shark,
She's gonna tear you apart.
love shark.
She's gonna eat all your money.
Love shark,
She's
gonna
gonna
take
nibble
you.
your ears.
Not that. First meet her, she'll blow you away. Then go through your pockets on a rainy day. She take what you need and later make you bleed. She take everything from right under your feet.
Love shark, she's gonna take your money.
Love shark,
She's gonna throw you in a ditch.
love shark.
She's such a bitch.
Love shark. She's gonna take your life.
Life apart.
That was Terror 45, a local band with their track called Love Shark. And now, Rusty Goat's back again. The road he walked. For 44 and a half years he roamed, 4 decades and 6 months. Step followed step, breath followed breath. He tripped, he stumbled, his voice often no more than a mumble. His life a chaotic shamble, a compassless scramble, hacking through bramble, often found tangled. The map he carried, the map torn and tattered, direction without matter, the compass without a point. His feet tired, his mind mired, his shoulders ached from the interminable burden. His eyes aching but not seeing, each day as dark as nights were long, but still he felt the need to shade his eyes, to shade them from the dark sun. The day came, a day of full stop, final destination, time to get off. The view drew him in, the sun burned his skin. He stepped back, one step back from the brink. Time to reflect, to take stock. Time to reflect, to rethink. Reflect, take stock. Reflect and rethink. Fresh dice, square one. A clean board, new beginnings.
That was The Road He Walked by Scott Cowley, the artist currently known as Rusty Goat. Coming up next is David Millard, produced in the Studio One project at SWADS last March.
Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence. Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence at all. Because if it were, I mean, there's so many people with really sharp intellects. Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence at all. Because if it were, I mean, there's so many people with really sharp intellects. Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence. Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence. Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability or intellectual intelligence at all. Because if it were, I mean, there's so many people with really sharp intellects.
You have just heard Shine by David Millard. Up next, a track called Like That, made by the pupils of St. Luke's School earlier in the year.
The pupils of St. Luke's School, recorded and produced here at SWADS. Next track is by Guy Tentacles and is called Fable.
The parable of the king and his 3 most loyal men. Stranded in the desert, the king says to his 3 most loyal men, I need you to find me some life. There is no life here, so find me some, otherwise we are all dead. The first loyal man is a knight in thick, dark armor. Very brave, but sadly ignorant. He immediately rushes off without a thought with his broad sword and heavy armor. His name is Lancelot, and Lancelot walks and walks and walks and walks some more. He's sweltering in his thick armor as the red sun beams down on him. He drinks all his water in the matter of an hour. The sun sets and the moon rises, and as the heat dissipates, the cold grabs him. His bones shake in his now very heavy armor. Lancelot dies at the end of the second day, with the scorpions and vultures eating him. Now Lancelot dies a noble death, but still he dies. Life comes to him after he is dead, and his body becomes that of the scorpions and the vultures. Now the king's second most loyal man is called Littlefinger, and he is not ignorant like the first man. He is clever, but sadly he is arrogant. He's read many books on adventuring and questing, yet he has never done it physically himself. He knows that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and he believes that the ocean is to the west, so he decides to follow the sun. Now Littlefinger, being a clever man, has brought some other things with him, not weapons, but a makeshift shovel, ink, and parchment. With the parchment and ink, he writes down his thoughts, things he would like to have done, like a diary. At the end of the first day, as the sun is setting, he decides to dig with his makeshift shovel. So he digs and digs and digs deeper and deeper. All of a sudden, he feels the wetness around his toes. And he digs a little bit more, and he finds a little bit more water. Life. He bends down and scoops up the water with his hands. That was refreshing. So he decides to dig deeper and deeper and deeper to find more water. Sadly, at the end of the 5th day, he dies at the bottom of the well. Consider it that he built his own grave. Now the third man, the third most loyal man of the king, is not an ignorant man, nor is he an arrogant one. He understands his limitations and decides he is best serving his king by staying with him and conserving energy. First of all, he builds a shelter for his king. And when he notices the sun sets, he starts to build a fire before it's dark. Also, he keeps his king's spirit up when the king's is failing. On the 9th day, this man and the king are rescued by a travelling horde of camel riders. They have seen their campsite from miles away, and they see the smoke billowing in the sky, and they rescue him. Now, the third man secured life for his king and for himself by thinking logically and keeping a level head. Not ignorant and absent-minded, neither was he too arrogant and thought he could solve all the problems. He just took them one by one. After all, if you can't look after yourself, how can you expect to save others?
That was Guy Tentacles with his track Fable. This next track is Richie P with his Trap Beat Strategy.
From Strategy by Richie P to Go Out There and Reach It by Hisham Hamid.
I know it's not easy. You gotta keep going. Go out there and reach it. Yo, I remember the days when I never had much. I used to find it hard to trust, it's not easy looking for love. Our head is bubble with dust, always keep your head up. No matter how hard it is, never give up hope. When people give you grief, cut them at the end of the rope, that's when you can cope. You have free time in your mind to concentrate, while others are hating by leaving them behind. Never expect anything that will get you hurt. Always keep your head down to stay away from the dirt. When you start doing well, things can go out of hand. I know it can be like hell, that's where jealousy comes from. When you start thinking about your plans, that's where people don't understand. People start broadcasting your failures, people start broadcasting your problems. It's better to stay quiet. The powerful person always focuses on their work. To get where you want, you gotta be on your grind for your soul to shine. That things can turn out to be fine. Keep trying, don't let fear come to you. There's no point in me relying when you struggle. People are not replying when you're in trouble. Go out there and reach it, do what you want. People can't tell you what to do, you gotta keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone, people out there are cons. Never let people take your things where it belongs. Go out there and reach it, go out there and achieve it. No one can stop you, do what you have to do. People won't understand what it's like being in your shoes. No one has the right to steal your confidence, the work is in your hands. Don't let it get to you which background you're from. Don't let it get to you which background you're from. Don't let it get to you which background you're from.
That was Hisham Hamid, Go Out There and Reach It. The next track is Richard Young's cover of John Legend's All of Me.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. I love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. You give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. blunders and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. You give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. I give you all of me, and you give me all
So that was a cover of the John Legend song All of Me by Richard Young. And now for some up-to-date poetry of the artist known as Rusty Goat, with a poem entitled 365 Days.
365 days. Not that long ago, I was in the bottom of a pit. As a rough calculation, it's been 52 weeks, and I have to admit, life had never been so rough. But they say, all things happen for a reason. A homeless shelter was my temporary address. My state of mental health was in crisis. Decisions were often being made for me, at times completely detached from reality. All the while, the world was happening around me. It was almost impossible to accept the facts. Unable to look at my own reflection, my vulnerability stood out, lit up by neon lights. I had to put trust in those around me, those that provided care and support, family, friends and mental health professionals, and the strangers who held out their hands. Strangers who crossed to the same side of the street held out their hands and warmly greeted me. Those genuine gestures of generosity were completely alien after a lifetime of using isolation for my own protection. Pointed and steered in different directions, minutes turned to hours and days did unfold. Putting trust in the friendships I was building around me, beginning to see that the world was not my enemy. I took control, took hold and began to address and suppress the devils and demons inside. The realisation was a moment of awakening that the rest of this life is down to me. Well, here I am and here I stand. I've weathered 4 consecutive seasons. That's 365 days as a rough calculation. Still, they say all things happen for a reason. Decisions being made for me, completely detached from reality. Had to watch, had to sit back until I got my life back on track. My fear of rejection needed protection, but with a new tack came my resurrection. I picked up the mic and began to ramble, and you'll have to turn the amp off to stop me. And maybe, just maybe, they are right in what they say, that all things happen for a reason.
365 Days by Rusty Goat. So that brings us to the end of this February show of the Art and Soul Show by SWADS on the air. Please join us again for the next show on Tuesday, the 6th of March at 10 a.m. here on Swindon 105.5. Remain as chilled as Mr. Frosty.
Could